Okay, so for this first problem, we have two different types of angles. We have the y and z, which are both inscribed angles. And remember that inscribed angles are half the intercepted arc, which we'll come back to in a second. And then we have this angle that is vertex outside the circle, which is when we take the intercepted arcs and subtract them and divide by 2. So y and z are half the intercepted arc. So the intercepted arc for y is just the 180. Well, half of y 180 gives us 90, so y just turns out to be 90 degrees. Now, we don't need to actually find out what the intercepted arc for z is, because we know that y is 90, and this is a triangle inside here. So we can just use our fact that the triangle angles add up to 180. So 180 minus 46 minus 90 just is going to give you 44. So we know that z is 44. Now to find x, we have to look at the intercepted arcs, one of which is just this 180, right? That is from this point to this point, which are the intercepted arcs from that angle. And then we need to subtract from it the other intercepted arc, which is this arc right here. And so we need to find out what that arc is, but that arc is just the intercepted arc from z. And so it is exactly double z, and since z is 44, we know that this arc is 88. So we just do 180 minus 88 divided by 2, applying that formula we know. 180 minus 88 is 92. 92 divided by 2 is 46. And so it turns out that z is 44 degrees, y is 90 degrees, and x is 46 degrees. All right, looking at number 8. Number 8, I went ahead and blew the picture up from what was on your sheet just so that we can really see what's happening. And so when we're doing this problem, the key geometric principle that we're going to apply is that the distance from a point to the two tangent points, if you draw in the two tangent lines from that point to a circle, is always the same. So AH is going to equal AE, and EB is going to equal BF, and FC is going to equal GC, and GD is going to equal HD. So we go ahead and apply that. So if AH is 3x minus 1, that means AE is also 3x minus 1. If EB is 2y plus 18, that means that BF is also 2y plus 18. We're given that GC or GD is 4x plus 3y. So that's this length here. So this is 4x plus 3y. Which means this length is also 4x plus 3y. And then finally, you're given that GC is 3x plus y, which means that FC is 3x plus y. And then we're given a couple actual lengths. AB is 22, and so this length right here, from A to B, is 22. Hopefully you can see the equation up here from that, which is this plus that equals 22. So we can actually just write that down. 3x minus 1 plus 2y plus 18 equals 22, which gives us 3x plus 2y equals, well, negative 1 plus 18 is 17. Subtract the 17 and you get 5. The other equation comes from when you get HD equals 6. And so this length right here is 6, which means that 4x plus 3y has to equal 6. And lo and behold, we had two variables. We were able to find two equations. That means we can solve a system of equations. I'm going to multiply this top one by 3 and this bottom one by negative 2 to give me 9x plus 6y equals 15. And then negative 8x minus 6y equals negative 12. Of course, I did that so that the 6y minus 6y would cancel out when I add them together, which gives me x equals 3. So we know that x equals 3 by solving that system of equations. We can then substitute that back into one of the two equations. 3 times 3 plus 2y equals 5. So 2y equals negative 4. 5 minus 9. So y turns out to be negative, which might give you some apprehension, and it should, but it's fine because at no point in time is one's length actually equal to y. So like here, if you plug in your y for negative 2, you get 14, which by the way means that BF is 14. It also means that AE is 8 and AH is 8 because 8 plus 14 is 22. We can also get that by substituting in 3 for x. HD and GD we already know are 6. So down here, the other place we're going to put it in y, and so 3x plus y is going to give you 3 times 3 minus 2, which means these are 7. So the y equals -2 didn't give us any negative length, which is the only thing we have to worry about. The final thing we do is perimeter, which is just going to be 8 plus 8, 14 plus 14, 7 plus 7, and 6 plus 6. Add all those together and you get 70. And so the perimeter of this shape is 70.